It all started on a calm Saturday morning, the kind where nothing dramatic is supposed to happen. I was in my kitchen making coffee, half awake, when I heard footsteps and muffled voices outside. At first, I thought it was a neighbor walking their dog, but the moment I stepped out to check, I froze. Standing in my driveway were 3 HOA cops. Not real police, just power-hungry volunteers with reflective vests, radios, and the kind of attitude you'd expect from people who desperately wanted authority. They were all gathered around my vintage truck, my grandfather's Ford F-100, the same one he rebuilt by hand before he passed away. At first, I thought they were just inspecting it, but then one of them, a tall guy with sunglasses and a clipboard, said, "Tag it. It's being removed today." My heart dropped. Removed? For what? I walked over calmly and asked what was going on. One of them turned around like he was in a movie and said, "This vehicle violates community aesthetics. It's unauthorized. We have the right to seize it." I almost laughed. Seize it? What law school did they graduate from? You can't just take someone's property because it doesn't match your vibe. I told them the truck was fully registered, restored, insured, and legally parked in my driveway. But they didn't care. The leader tapped his fake ID badge and acted like he was some kind of federal agent. Then he radioed, "Tow incoming. Secure the area." That's when I realized they were serious. They actually planned to tow it without any official order. I stepped between them and the truck, and the tension rose instantly. One of them tried intimidating me, stepping closer, saying if I interfered, they'd fine me heavily and escalate the situation. What they didn't know is I'd already installed new security cameras. Cameras they didn't know were recording the entire encounter in 4K. So while they were busy trying to play hero, every word, threat, and fake claim was being documented, I told them straight, "If you touch this truck, the actual police will be here before your tow guy arrives." They didn't back down. In fact, the leader smirked and said, "We've done this before. No one wins against us." They messed with the wrong guy. I went inside, grabbed my folder of documents, title, registration, HOA rules, and 2 printed emails from the HOA approving historic class vehicles. When I came back out, they were already taking pictures of the truck from every angle, like they were collecting evidence. I asked for the tow authorization number. They didn't have one. I asked for a written violation. They didn't have that either. They only had their egos and a clipboard with blank paper. Finally, the tow truck arrived. That's when everything turned from stupid to dangerous. The driver looked confused and asked, "Who approved this?" When he realized it wasn't the police, he stepped out and refused to hook the truck without proper paperwork. The HOA guys panicked. The leader started yelling at the tow driver, ordering him like a boss. The driver looked at me and whispered, "These guys aren't real enforcement, right?" I shook my head. "Not even close." The tow driver stepped back, folded his arms, and said he wasn't touching anything without legal proof. The HOA cops turned red. I pulled out my documents and read aloud the exact HOA rule that permitted historic vehicles. They tried twisting the rule, but got trapped by their own words. The tow driver said, "I'm out," got in his truck and drove off, leaving them standing there, embarrassed. But the best part didn't happen until I mentioned the cameras. I told them the entire confrontation, the fake badge, the threats, the illegal seizure attempt was recorded and already backed up online. Their faces instantly changed. One tried to force a smile like nothing serious had happened. Another kept glancing around looking for the cameras. The leader tried to walk away, saying, "We'll review the rules and get back to you." "No," I said. "You'll be hearing from the real authorities." I sent the footage to the HOA board, the county compliance office, and even shared it with my neighbor's group. The community went crazy. Turns out this wasn't the first time these guys tried to abuse their little power. The board held an emergency meeting, and within a week, all three were removed from their volunteer enforcement roles. Every neighbor who had ever been bullied by them came forward. And the best part, the board issued a written apology to me and officially recognized my grandfather's truck as a community heritage vehicle, meaning it is permanently protected and can never be targeted again. The HOA cops tried to seize my vintage truck, but in the end, they lost everything. And my truck, it's still right where it belongs.